What's going on, everybody? What's up, family? How are y'all doing? Welcome to the Tariq Elite Show. I am broadcasting live. I'm in Honolulu, Hawaii right now. It's kind of dark in here. I know y'all can barely see me right now. Trying to get this lighting together. This is a little bit better. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? I'm glad to have everybody tuning in. The broadcast has been going in and out, so I had to lower the bandwidth a little bit. So y'all please excuse the broadcast if it happens to go out tonight. Hopefully it's not too choppy and everything. So, we're going to still try to make it do what it do. The quality might be a little janky, but we're going to try to make it do what it do tonight. Looks like my mouth is moving before the words. But we're going to make it do what it do, family. We got to work with it. Sometimes in these hotels, the connection is a little janky and all that good stuff. Let me see who's up in the chat room. We got people calling in already. The phone number is 818-850-5404. Ladies and gentlemen, let me turn a little bit this way. I want y'all to get some of that Hawaiian background, but I don't want to mess up the screen. There you go. All right, let's see who's in the chat room. I'm just trying to monitor everything to make sure that everything doesn't cut off. So y'all just bear with me. All right, but we're here. Glad to have everybody in. Glad to have everybody tuning in, waiting on the chat room to pile up. I didn't do my regular podcast this week. I was in Samoa. I was in American Samoa for this whole week, as a matter of fact. And the internet connection there was just extremely janky. So I didn't get a chance to do the show there. Also, my first couple of days in Samoa, I was like very hoarse. I could barely talk. And I was already a little sickly before getting on the plane. And I was just getting over kind of a cold trying to creep up. And after I got off that plane, traveling for like 10 hours, and then start sleeping under that air. It was real humid out there. The humidity in Samoa is like incredible. And the first night I stayed there, I woke up the next day and I was just, I could barely talk. So I was out the game for a couple of days. TJ's back here making little baby noises. Man, my voice was gone, man. But I'm here. Shout out to my man Jason Black. His movie is coming out in a couple of weeks, 7 a.m. That movie is going to be in theaters January 17th. Go to 7ammovie.com to get more information on that. At 7ammovie.com. The movie 7 a.m. is coming out in a couple of weeks, so you guys check that out. Let me allow links. I know some people are putting in links. So let me allow links in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. And let me see real quick. Allow links. Yep, you can put links in the chat room and all that. Hopefully I'm not too choppy here. Melanoidnation.org. Remember, melanoidnation.org. That's the Melanoid Nation website. Man, so the phone number is 818-850-5404. A lot of stuff we got to talk about. I'll talk about Samoa in a minute and everything out there. Beautiful place, by the way. Samoa is a beautiful country. We were in American Samoa. There's I think there's 3 parts. One main island is Western Samoa. And then you got American Samoa. That's where we were. We were in American Samoa. So, very, very underrated. Very underrated place. Not a lot of tourism there. Because a lot of people were shocked that we were even there. They were like, first of all, they were like, are you guys from here? Especially Peanut. They thought she was Samoan. Some people thought I was Samoan. And they like, you got family here? Because everybody knows each other. So, like, we never seen you in the villages. So, we just told them, we just visited. Like, really? What made you come here? I mean, there's just, like, very minimal tourism there. And it's an absolutely beautiful place, though. Let me see who we got calling. Well, the phone lines are lit up already. Let's see who we got on the phone. What's up? Who's calling? Hello?
This is Mark calling from Cincinnati.
Mark from Cincinnati. How you doing, Mark? What's on your mind?
I'm Doing good. First and foremost, I want to say respect to what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Great thing what you're doing out here with all the people, spreading the word and diaspora, man.
Yes, sir. Much respect, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just wanted to call in and get your opinion on what I heard. Oprah has some comments saying that there's no leadership going on with the revolution right now.
Yes,
so
indeed.
I just want to hear what you have to say about all that.
Good point, man. I'll talk about that now, man. Thanks for the call. So I was talking about this on Twitter. Now, Oprah recently, she asked a very important question. She said something very important. Oprah said, well, there's a lot of protests going on, and right now she's promoting the movie Selma, and I do want to check that movie out. But Oprah said, you know, we got a lot of protests going on, and she would like to see, and I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit, but she would like to see more leadership. And let me get the exact quote so I don't misquote what she said. Let me get the exact quote so I don't misquote what Oprah said. But I don't disagree with what Oprah said. Hold on one second. Y'all bear with me for 1 minute. Oprah protests. Because I don't want to misquote anybody. Okay, let me read. Okay. Oprah says, I'm looking at thegrio.com. Oprah says, protest. Hold on one second. It's loading up. Today's protest needs leadership. That's what Oprah said. And why is my shit acting funny? Hold on one second. Y'all bear with me. I hate some of these websites. They got so much shit on their pages. They got all these crazy ads that slow down your computer. Okay, so Oprah says she thinks that they brought it to Ferguson, but all these protests is really beyond Ferguson because the stuff that's happening to people is happening all over the country. So a lot of people try to centralize everything in Ferguson, but it's really beyond Ferguson. Oprah says that what I'm looking for is some kind of leadership to come out of this and say, this is what we want, this is what has to change, and these are the steps we need to make these changes. And this is what we're willing to do to get it. So that's what her quote was, talking about these protests. And I agree with Oprah Winfrey 200%. I agree 200% with Oprah. And a lot of Negro Bedwench Twitter and so-called Black Twitter, which is basically Negro Bedwench Twitter, and fake outrage Twitter started whining and complaining about Oprah. You dig? So there was this fake outrage and people upset with Oprah. I want to know what Oprah said that was incorrect. I want to know what Oprah said that was incorrect. Now, a couple of people, especially y'all remember Dr. Jason who called up to my show, he was talking to me on Twitter, you know, just kind of being adversarial just for the sake of being adversarial, and I shut him down very quickly. He was like, well, Tariq, she shouldn't have said there's no leadership because there are plenty of leaders. He started naming a couple of these random people, and I said, okay, well, what's their direction? What's their goals, Dr. Jason? He was like, well, you need to ask them that. But I'm asking you, what you're pointing these people out. You're just naming random people, talking about they're the leaders, but you don't even know what their leadership is about. What direction is their leadership going to? Well, I gave you their names. You can ask them. I said, brother, there's thousands of people protesting. You naming off a couple of random people out of thousands claiming they're the leaders, and you can't even articulate their leadership views. You dig? That's disingenuous. And the thing is, my thing is this. I'm not big on leaders anyway, because I've always said that a code of conduct should be the leadership. But you do have, I guess I'm assuming that you got a lot of people who are trying to claim themselves as leaders in certain spots, but there are no leaders. Let's just be very realistic. There are no real leaders. You got people who are jumping in front of the camera every chance they get. That's not real leadership. Because if you got leadership, you're going to have somebody who's bringing a goal and an agenda. And you don't really need leadership for that. Let's just follow a goal and an agenda and some steps we need to take in order to get the justice we need or the empowerment we need. But you do have a lot of people out here claiming they're the leaders, but when you ask them, what are you doing to actually bring direction? What direction are we going in? Nobody can give any answers. And then all of a sudden, what happens is when you start asking questions like this, people start deflecting. And what's funny, a couple of Negro Bedouins Twitter and troll Twitter, they try to make it seem like that whole Snatch for Justice crew are the leaders. And if that's the case, we're doomed. Yeah, it's that whole, for some reason, a couple of these Twitter trolls are trying to pretend that whole Snatch for Justice, you know who they are, that they're the leaders. And these people don't know their asses from a hole in the ground. Let's just be very realistic. We can't play games with this. We got the whole world looking at us to see what the next direction is, and you got people out here taking selfies talking about their Snatch for Justice. People ain't really got no direction. There's no direction with these people. These are certain people, man, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but there's a lot of people who are literally just jumping in front of the camera. These are like basically opportunists. Ain't nobody got no direction out here. Let's just be realistic. And one brother was talking to me on Twitter. He's probably listening now. He was like, I was like, what's the direction, man? If these people are the leaders, what are they doing? Well, if a lot of us, man, we went down to Washington, D.C., and we told Al Sharpton off. I said, dude, all that was is a bunch of niggas competing for airtime. That was a bunch of niggas out there competing for airtime, dude. That wasn't no leadership. That wasn't no direction. Because my thing is, if you're going to say you're the leader, all I want to know from you is the direction. What are the answers? What are the steps you have that we can take to empower ourselves or replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice? And anything other than that is just a bunch of people out here playing, campaigning for attention. All this shit is a grab bag for attention at this point, because protesting is a stage. Just like, for example, when you look at the Tea Party, you see them out there protesting, but that's just one stage of their whole group. Because what happens is the conservatives, they use the Tea Party as their grassroots crew. They go out there and get the media attention. While they get the media attention, they give rallying cries to other people to support. I'm back. My Ustream went out for a second, man. I'm sorry about that. My Ustream keeps going in and out. All right? What I might have to do is get it cracking on my phone. I might have to get it cracking on my phone and do my Ustream that way, so I can avoid all the ins and outs of this thing. All right? But if my bandwidth thing keeps going out, I'm just going to record it on my phone. All right, we're back. Can y'all see me? Yo, let me put a yo. All right, can y'all see me? Are we good? Let me know if y'all see me. Because now my joint is acting janky. All right, I'm back up. Hold on. All right. If this thing goes out again, I'm just going to do it on my phone. Because I got a lot of stuff I want to chop up game with the family tonight. All right, so we're back. We're back. We're back. We good? Okay. I apologize for that, guys. We went out for a second. But like I was saying, the protest, basically, that's just one phase. That should be just one phase of a collective, collaborative effort to get things done. That should be just one phase. With these protests about all of these killings of black people, The protest is the phase. That's it. People are making the protest the end all be all, and we're wasting time. That's a waste of time, and that's a very legitimate question to ask. Okay, what's the goal? The minute people start asking what the goal is, all of a sudden, Negro Bedouin's Twitter and the Twitter trolls who's supposed to be representing Black Twitter, who many of them are funded by the white supremacists, and I'm going to get on that in a minute. They start going into trolling and attack mode, the slander mode, when you start asking real legitimate questions. That's a very legitimate question at this point. What is our goal? All right, how long we going to walk around talking about hands up, don't shoot? How long we talk about hands up, don't shoot? What's the goal? That's what we should have. The code of conduct. We should have that code of conduct going on right now. And none of these people out here are telling you what to do. You know why? Because a lot of them, man, they got the collection played out. A lot of cats out here, man, with these killings and all that stuff. Now, basically, these cats are just getting donations. You don't know where the money is going. Well, some people, you do know where the money is going. It's going to get snatched so they can get snatched for justice. So that's a very legitimate thing to ask, okay, if we donate money, where's this money going? I want to know what the direction is. Where's the money going? Like us, Melanoid Nation, we'll show you who the money's going to. I've sent checks out to Ferg. I've showed you exactly who the money is going to. We've paid for people's funerals, so we let you know exactly where the money is going. It's not going to be all this, hey, we're going to march. Give us the money for marching. I don't all that C for effort shit. You don't get a C for effort. What are we getting done? So we need to start asking these questions, especially some of these cats out here, these so-called leaders, because some of them got my name in their mouth a little fucked up, and that, I really don't appreciate that either. And another thing, who was that young lady I was talking about, that suspected white supremacist who was on Twitter? She mentioned my name, and she's down with some of those Ferguson people who are not really from Ferguson, by the way. Some of these people who claim to be Ferguson protesters aren't even from the area of Ferguson, by the way. But who was that suspected white supremacist female? What was her name again? What's her name again? Because I really want to touch on this. Stacks is short. That's her name? What's up, Q, man? That boviating Barbie, she's a white supremacist troll. But yeah, that Stacks is short chick. Let me get on her, because I didn't get on her like I should have last week. But I'm going to get on her now, and I'm going to get on people like her. Short Stacks, Stacks is short, something like that. Now, give her real name, her real Twitter handle. What's her real Twitter handle? Hold on, because y'all got about 30 or 40 ones y'all throwing out there. Stacks is something. Stacks is, what's her name again? Put a real Twitter handle out there. Somebody said funky bitch. Come on. Dave, that's not nice. What's her real Twitter thing? Stacks is short. Stacks, I-Z, short. Stacks is short. Like I-Z, short. Stacks is short. That's her thing. Now, she just randomly sent me a tweet last week throwing a little shade. She was like, if anybody... y'all keep mentioning, because I guess people on her timeline were retweeting me. I don't follow her. She doesn't follow me. I don't know. I didn't know this woman existed. But she was like, anybody who retweets Tariq on my timeline, y'all gonna get blocked. And she included me in the mention just so I can see her dissing. All right. So since you made it your point to show that you're dissing, let's address you. Shorts is Stacks, or whatever the fuck your name is. Stacks is short. Because number one, let me say this. And people started questioning her, like, why are you trying to diss Tariq? Well, he said something about some of these strong women out here protesting in Ferguson. She's talking about that whole Snatch for Justice crew. She was basically regurgitating some of their lies. But that just goes to show how these suspected white supremacists operate. They get in the mix, get around some Negroes, and they start getting real comfortable and then try to speak on shit they shouldn't even be speaking on. Because my thing is this, I think she's one of those people who's out there filming a lot of stuff, so she thinks she's down. And some of y'all niggas, when y'all get some of these suspected white supremacists out here talking a little slang or whatever, all of a sudden you give them a little pass. I don't give motherfuckers like this a pass. You don't get no pass from me. Because my thing is this, black folks got to be very careful about certain movements and allowing people in movements who you shouldn't be allowing in your movements. Because right now, at this point, you got so many suspected white supremacists out here and undercover cops and agent provocateurs. We should just avoid dealing with these potential and suspected white supremacists, period. That's one of our problems. We try to get shit done and we got all these outside agitators sitting up here in the mix. I'm real highly against that. That's why I have a problem with a lot of these protests, because you got a lot of people out here who are undercover cops and undercover agents all over the place. So you don't know who's who. And they ain't nobody saying nothing about white supremacy. And this thing, this Stacks is Fat, or whatever the hell her name is, somebody was telling me some information about her, like she has a black husband and all that. And that's another thing. Just because you got some suspected white supremacists out here fucking a black person, that doesn't give them a pass, as far as I'm concerned. Black people get real confused by that. You think just because some white chick is out here, she done fucked a couple of niggas, or even married a dude, a brother, all of a sudden she can come in and kind of yap her mouth about black issues and not challenge white supremacy. Because they conveniently never challenge systematic white supremacy, but they always up in our mix. And y'all, so I had a suspected white supremacist female, not even suspected. This lady, this white supremacist female called my show. She's been messing with black men for 25, 30 years. And this woman had the same racist views as any other white supremacist. So black folks, stop falling for that con game. Get out of our mix. You don't need to be speaking on anything as far as what I do. Especially just because your claim to fame in the community is fucking a nigga and videotaping people get beat up. Now you in a position to sit up here and talk about issues in the community that I put in a lot of work for. I do this. I done paid for all types of black people's funerals. Some of the black elders paid for their medical bills. I paid some of the elders' rent, house notes. Dude, I'm all over not the country, all over the world. Unifying with melanoid people, bonding and creating a system of empowerment, allies with other brothers and sisters around the world. This is what I do. So don't sit up and make some old slick shit about me and you a suspected white supremacist and your claim to fame to the community is getting a black dick up in you? And now you supposed to be some kind of substitute Rosa Parks? Get the fuck out of here. Who is this? That's my daughter. Yeah, I'm highly offended by her even mentioning me. The fuck you think you are? Because you had a black dick in your mouth, you supposed to be Sojourner Truth? Sit your ass down and keep my damn name out your mouth, Stacks is Raggedy, or whatever your name is. I do this. For real, for real. I don't do all that. The suspected white supremacist female all up around niggas talking that old yo-yo slang shit and acting like you down. And the minute they get in an interrogation room, they start sounding like Marsha Brady. I'm not impressed. And damn you and them raggedy niggas you hanging with who co-signing you. Get out of my mix and get out of our mix. I'm not impressed by you. That's why I ain't impressed by Iggy Azalea, none of them. All that old nigga shit y'all get to, they're just like Iggy Azalea. She starts rapping all that black shit, but she talks with an Australian accent. People should be pissed off by that. Yes, I've always talked about that. People coming around us, yo, 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 yo. If y'all heard my show, I've talked about that for years. Niggas, yo, yo, and then get around their own people, and now you know how to talk. Fuck all the way out of here with that shit. Get out of our mix. You dig? And don't speak on mine. You put in some real work, and I ain't talking about just going around watching a bunch of black folks get beat up. That ain't putting in work. You're just a reporter for the streets right now. That's it. You're just documenting shit. What are you doing about it? Because I'm talking about doing some things. I'm talking about melanoid empowerment globally. I'm talking about melanoid empowerment. Yeah, riffraff, all those people, man. And let me tell y'all something. I was just, again, a few days ago, I was in Samoa. I'm in Samoa. Samoa, you got a bunch of black folks over there, basically. They're Samoan. It looks like you walking around Harlem somewhere or Detroit. It's just a bunch of people who look black. Beautiful people. Some of the most beautiful, spirited people you've ever want to meet in your life. Brothers and sisters in Samoa are absolutely wonderful over there. Very underrated place. So I'm at my hotel, and I want to go on a tour of the island. I talked to the people at the hotel, and I said, okay, I want a tour guide. I want somebody to, I saw a flyer for a tour that takes you around the island. I said, okay, bam, I want that. I want the tour. So they called the tour guide who's going to come pick us up the next day. What is my daughter? Hold on. Peanut, you going to the pool with Tariq?
I already went.
Okay. She is showering. Okay. What was I saying? My daughter distracted me. What was I saying? So we're going to do the tour. Yeah. That's where I really don't like that. So the suspected white supremacist female, she goes somewhere and hugs up on a couple of black dicks, and all of a sudden, she's supposed to speak on black issues now. Sit down. But I digress. So I'm in Samoa. So we get the tour guide. So he comes to pick us up the next day. We're scheduled to go to the next day. So we're downstairs waiting on the guy. The white guy show up. I was uh-oh. That's because there's hardly any white people there. You can count the white people on the island with one hand. It's not too many white people there. So we get him. All right? Hi, come on, I'm here to take you on the tour. I said, okay. All right, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so we go on the tour. He has a little Samoan girl in the car with him. She's about 13 years old. Little Samoan girl, little light-skinned Samoan girl. Like, this is my daughter. I said, okay. Oh, shit. All right. So we go on the tour. Man, knowledgeable guy. The guy was very knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. But the thing is, and we found out this guy, the tour guide, he's from America. He's from like Oklahoma somewhere, but he moved out there. And this dude basically moved out there, had like 3 Samoan wives. This motherfucker had like 12 kids. He got like 12 kids by Samoan women out there, just banging Samoan women like crazy. Old white dude, by the way. This guy's like 60, maybe 70 or whatever. Older dude. So he's telling us about the stuff, and the more he's talking, nice guy, but this guy had some of the most low-key white supremacist views, and that's another thing. Just because a person is being nice and cordial, and just because they are laying up with a person of color, for some reason, black people think that these people don't have white supremacist views. This dude had some of the most white supremacist views. It was one guy who was his assistant, because this guy basically would do, he does landscaping work too. So he had an assistant, which is a guy from the Solomon Islands, who was half Solomon Island, half Samoan, named Tito something. And Tito was a native. He was a brother with an afro, you know, real quiet dude. And the way he was describing the Tito guy, he was like, yeah, that's Tito. You know, I've been knowing him since he was 2. You know, he was an orphan. He was raised like this. So he's like the wild man of, he's like a Samoan Island or Solomon Island wild man. He was describing him as damn near a savage, the way he was describing the dude. I'm like, oh, damn. So he put the dude basically, and we were in his like little rackety van, and the dude was like in the trunk area. The assistant was basically literally scrunched up in the trunk. I'm like, why is this dude? Okay, he got the dude all scrunched up in the trunk. I felt uncomfortable. I'm like, damn, dude. I really wasn't liking that. I didn't like how he described the dude as a wild man, because I'm thinking the dude is, you know, on some other shit. And we were out, and me and the white dude was talking. He was like, yeah, Tito, man, he was like, when we got him, you know, he for years he didn't own a toothbrush, and even now he doesn't, when he eats, he takes his food and eats in the corner like an animal. He was just really describing the dude crazy. Later on that day, my mom, because my mom went with, I got the family with me, my mom was talking to the Tito guy, and I was telling her what the dude was saying about Tito. She's like, Tito got good sense. Like, me and Tito was talking about church, and Tito's a musician. He plays this instrument and that. So she's like, ain't nothing wrong with Tito. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So now this dude has kind of painted this crazy picture through the white supremacist lenses. You dig? So again, we're driving around the island. He's telling me about all the trees and the plants and just a lot of good information. And we're talking about the people, and certain people we would see, he would point them out. That guy right there, that's the town drunk. That guy over there, that's the village idiot. I'm like, okay, I ain't feeling that. This dude is talking real kind of derogatory about the Samoan brothers and sisters out here. And a lot of, my daughter has, here's my grandmother. Okay, I got to hit her up in a minute. Text my mom and tell her I hit her up in a minute. Now, we're driving around the island, and a lot of the youth, the younger kids, they play a lot of rap music over there. A lot of rap music. We're driving around these different villages, and they're bumping rap music. They're loving us. You know, we waving. That's why I took so many pictures. They're just very cordial to us. They're just loving us. Everywhere we went, we would talk to different people. The white tour guide would talk to random people and ask them about certain things, like, is the park open today? Is this open? Is that open? People will say, yeah. It's okay. And we're like, hey, who is that person? Oh, yeah, that's my ex-wife. I'm like, God damn. Then we'll talk to some more people, and I'm like, who is that? Oh, that was one of my kids. So this motherfucker got wives and kids all over the place. I'm like, okay, this is some old slave master missionary bullshit he got going on over here. And again, like I said, a lot of the kids are we pass a lot of kids and they're bumping rap music. And we were tripping on some of they were bumping Dave's Loaf, the whole shebang. And he was like, yeah, I don't know why these kids out here play all that ghetto music. He literally said that. He said, it's not like they can relate to it anyway. I mean, you know, why are they bumping all that ghetto music? I said, okay, well, maybe they can identify with the beat, the music, you know. But he kept saying little low-key, slick, white supremacist bullshit like that. Man, this dude was saying some real slick, low-key. He was saying some real low-key white supremacist shit, man. Yeah. He was saying that's how they really feel about us, because the shit he was saying about them, they say the same shit about us. So that's why I'm just kind of listening. Yeah, this dude said, I don't know why they bump that ghetto music out here. It's not like they can relate to it, but they can relate to it. You dig? Because they see themselves in us. They really do. That's like a lot of times with the kids. I would get up there and chop up game with some of the kids out there, and we take pictures, and the kids, they throwing out their little swagged out poses, bam, So they got that flavor. But it's amazing to see suspected white supremacists, even though they'll have kids of color, black kids, Samoan kids, they will still have those same white supremacist views of anybody else. You would never know they had all those kids of color, and they don't miss a step with their white supremacist views. Oh, no, no, no. I'm listening to him. See, the thing is, when I see a white supremacist reveal himself, I'm all ears. See, that's the thing. A lot of times, people get bent out of shape by stuff. When I'm around a white supremacist, I like to let them talk. I like to let them talk and say what they have to say. I'm all ears. I want to know what's happening. I want to hear this person's views. I want to hear what they got to say. No, you got to, exactly, Jay. You got to let them have the floor. Hold on. I can't keep talking. I'm doing my live show now. Live show. Hold on. Okay. Oh, yeah, but you got to let them talk. No, see, a lot of times black folks get all bent out of shape. Oh, I'm going to tell you what. No, 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 no. I'm going to let him talk because I want to hear the real deal. Because now if you start checking them too early, like if I'm in a real debate or whatever, I can, I know how to get at them. But when they're just having casual conversation and I'm trying to learn some stuff about a certain place and I see a white supremacist, I want to know what's going on. I want to hear his perspective. I give him the floor. In Samoa, it's very hot out there. Hot and humid. It's humid as hell out there. Because if you let the white supremacists talk, you can see all types of little hustles and scams they got going. You let them talk. When you get around a white supremacist by yourself, and he's just kind of casually making little low-key white supremacist comments that he's not even deliberately trying to make. That's just who he is. Let him talk. You'll learn a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot of shit from that dude. One thing I learned is that, see, the white supremacists will always tell you half the story. Because he was talking about the history of Samoa, and like, yeah, man, with these kings and the people over here, in the year 1900, they signed off on their land, and I said, wait. Stop right there, because sometimes I had to stop him and have him explain all of it, because the white supremacists are very good at that. They'll explain half of some shit and then kind of glance over it and go another direction if you don't stop them and make them say all of it. Like he was saying, well, yeah, they signed over their land to the United States. I said, okay, why'd they sign it over? Well, that's because the Marines came over in the thousands and, pointed guns at them. Okay, well, they were forced into signing. It was a deal you couldn't refuse. So make them say all of it. That's another thing. The white supremacists, they try to give you half the story. They basically took it. Don't make it, yeah, I'm like, don't run this game like the Samoans just said, okay, here's our land, you can take it. No, say all of it. Say that the Marines came over there in the thousands with military weapons and basically forced them at gunpoint to sign over their land. Or you'll die. Just say all of it. And that's why I like to get the native tour guide. See, he's going to tell his side of the story. I wish I had recorded him too. You dig? But I'm like, no, say all of it. They try to romanticize imperialism. They really do over there. They really try to romanticize it. And no, don't romanticize it. Just tell the truth. They were forced. The Marines came over in the thousands and forced them by gunpoint to sign. And many of them got killed. Just tell it like it is. Don't try to glance over it. Because that's what they'll try to do. They'll leave that part out. And I'm talking to him, and what the guy was saying is that there's a couple of over there, some of the people can get if you're Samoan, a lot of people got like free land basically to build their houses. And what happens is that I think if you marry into a Samoan family, you can get some access to some of the land, because then you can be like somewhat of an honorary family member, so you can kind of claim to be technically Samoan. Or if you have children, you understand? So that's like a little hustle. From what he didn't say it, but I'm gathering this. This is why I'm letting him talk, so I can see what the whole hustle is. You dig? So what I'm thinking, from what he was saying, because he said he got a house over there, and yeah, it's that whole $5 Indian bullshit they got, that those white supremacists do over in the States, where you claim to be, or claim that you and your family, you're part of the native people there, and you get access to the land, free homes, stuff like that. They do that a lot with the Native Americans. Like in America, the Native Americans, we talked about this in Hidden Colors too. 90% of those people aren't no damn Native American. They're $5 Indians. These are white supremacists pretending to be Indians so they can get some of those casinos, so they can get some of that $1 billion a year money. You got a bunch of people faking being Native American, and you got a couple of people over there doing it too in Samoa. They're doing the same shit. They knock up some Samoan ladies, have a bunch of Samoan kids, and now they're part of the Samoan family, so they can get access to some of that shit. And this is why I always say we got to stop letting these suspected white supremacists in our mix. We got to stop letting these suspected white supremacists in our mix. Just because they got their dick and their pussy out don't mean they're trying to do you any good. That's the trick, man. And we fall for it every time. We think because they got dick in our face or pussy in our mouth that they're somehow down for our cause. We make that mistake majorly. And also over in Samoa, I've never been any place that had that many churches. I've literally been all over the world. I've been to damn near every continent except Antarctica. And I'm going there too. Antarctica. I've never seen as many churches as I saw on Samoa. Peanut, how many churches were on that island?
I don't even know. One every next to each
When I say, dude, there's a church. I can't even say every block, man. I'm talking about every few steps you take, it seemed like there was a church. Every, I would say, third house, there was a church. And I'm not exaggerating. You go 1, 2, 3 houses, church. 1, 2, 3 houses, church. Sometimes it was churches directly across the street. I've never seen that many churches, ever. There were churches all over that island. And there's only like 80,000 people on American Samoa. And, you know, there's so many different denominations, and the churches, again, are some of the nicest buildings there. And that's another hustle. It's those missionaries. It's that missionary thing, man. The missionaries come in, and we fall for the missionary hustle. We fall for that missionary hustle. And even while we were there, we saw a couple of white people in those were those Mormons we were seeing? Yeah, we saw some white people walking around in the little Mormon outfits, you know, with the white shirt and the black tie and like the backpacks, going to people's. Yeah, they would always get they recruit a native person, and the native person would be dressed like the Mormon, and I guess they were going to people's homes recruiting them. And that's another thing, man. People of color, black people, melanoid people, we got to stop letting these missionaries come up in our mix, man. That's code number 1 right there. That's a major code that we need to adopt. We need to chill with letting the missionaries in. Dude, we're going to talk about the Mormons in Hidden Colors 4, dude. It's time for people to really know the deal about the Mormons. If you want to talk about racism in religion, do. The Mormons wouldn't even let black folks and preach or become evangelists until 1978. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're gonna really get down on those Mormons. They've been racist from their inception. They've been racist since their inceptions. But those Mormon missionaries were all over the place. Speaking of Mormon, y'all know that chick Mia Love. Speaking of racist, Mia Love. We put up a post about her earlier. Mia Love. She's this Republican congresswoman who was just a darling of the Tea Party. Now Mia Love is known to say real slick shit about black folks. Mia Love. She did a speech one time for the Tea Party where, and I want y'all to Google this, by the way. She did a speech for the Tea Party while they were waving Confederate flags around. She's doing a speech for them. So she's known for being that part of that Butter Biscuit Brigade. So recently, she co-signed that Steve Scalise dude. That Steve Scalise. Now, whatever you sprayed is strong as hell, Pete. That's choking the hell out of me. That Steve Scalise guy, y'all know who he is, that top congressman, not Republican whip, real big Republican guy. You know, they found out that he was, he did a speech for a white supremacist organization back in 2002. This organization that was led by Klan leader David Duke. So when we say white, this is like an open white supremacist organization, and his ass was speaking at it. So there was a backlash, really from a lot of Jewish investors, because again, people are not giving a backlash for us. This guy offended a lot of people of Jewish descent, so a lot of backlash is coming. So what they did, they wheeled her out. They wheeled out Mia Love, talking about, well, Steve Scalise, he's a good guy. He should remain in the leadership position. We should just let this whole thing go. So she's doing the whole Negro Bedouin shuffle for the white supremacists. She's doing the whole Negro Bedouin shuffle for the white supremacists. And you look into her background, she has a white husband. So when I say that Negro Bedouin mentality is dangerous, and they do not represent black women as a whole, thank God. They do not represent black women as a whole because they throw black women under the bus too. But that Negro Bedouin mentality is dangerous for other black women, and it's dangerous for the black community as a whole. Damn, that shit is choking me. Peanut, was that deodorant you sprayed? Okay. It's tearing my throat up. Text Tariq and see what she's doing. She keeps texting me. Yeah, Tariq's. Peanut's belly here. Okay, somebody in here is trolling? Who's trolling in here? Man. Omelet King, that's his name. Where you at, Omelet King? This nigga name is Omelet King. What kind of name is that? Let me see what Omelet King is. Let me see if I see him up in here so I can ban him real quick. So Omelet King, let me ban him. Well, hold on, Omelet King. I'm going to ban you real quick. Hold on, Omelet King. Hold on. He dipped. Yeah, he dipped out real quick. Hold on. Yeah, Omelet King dipped out. Let's see who we got on the phone. What's up? Who's calling?
Hello?
What's up? Who's calling?
This is David calling from New Orleans.
What's up, Dave from New Orleans? How you doing, fam?
I'm doing good.
What's on your mind?
Hey, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
What you think about black people becoming allies with North Korea?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Black people, unfortunately, with us, black people don't do shit unless we get permission from the suspected white supremacists. So
Right.
black folks really don't want to empower themselves because the white supremacists didn't give them permission. Black people, and this is something we have to admit, on a subconscious level, we wait for the white supremacists to give us a cosign. And that's a very bad habit that black people have. That's why a lot of black people won't even ally with Africa, because the white supremacists didn't make it okay. But if white supremacists say it's okay to pour some ice buckets on your head, we'll be doing it tomorrow. We do all this silly shit that ain't got nothing to do with us simply because the white supremacist gives us a pass to do it. So we got to start thinking independently and get that slave mentality out of our system. You feel me?
I feel it.
Much respect, fam. That's the thing, bruh. Black folks ain't... We gotta start allying ourselves with people worldwide and globally. Black people are so scared to lose favor with the suspected white supremacists. That's the problem. It's that butter biscuit is so tasty. Yeah, the butter biscuit is so tasty. These Negroes don't want to give that up. Yeah, let him troll. Let this nigga troll. Let him troll. It's all right. What's that? Hold on. Oh, my phone. All right. Okay. Yeah, let him troll. Claude Anderson is coming to Houston. Oh, that's going to be hot, man. That's going to be hot. If you're in Houston, y'all need to go see that brother. If you're down in Houston, you need to go see that brother. Definitely. What is TJ doing? He's sleeping. He's taking a little nap. Yeah, TJ's over there napping. Let me see. Let me see if y'all can. Let me give a view of Hawaii real quick, so hopefully the stream don't mess up. Let me give y'all a view real quick. Hopefully it doesn't go out. My bandwidth don't go out. There you go. Can y'all see that? Uh-oh. TJ then got up and got turned up. Hold on. Let me get all this stuff out the way so y'all can see what I'm looking at right about now. Okay, this is... And y'all need to come on out here to Hawaii, man. Hawaii is nice. This is like my second home. I love it out here. Hold on, I got all this shit up on my screen. I'm trying to... There we go. All right, that's the lovely Waikiki. We're out here by the beach. If y'all can see that. We're up here high as hell. I'm looking down. I'm getting kind of dizzy looking down. But that is Waikiki. Very beautiful. It's about to get turned dark out here. It's kind of chilly out here, too. It's a little chilly out here right now. Real nice, though. Let me get out here in the back so y'all can see me in the background chopping it up. There you go. It's a little chilly out here. Normally it's hotter, but it's a little chilly out here this time of year. I'm going to get some more calls in a minute. But yeah, y'all got to start coming out here, man. Hawaii's a very nice spot, man. A lot of good energy out here. The Hawaiian brothers and sisters are wonderful. A lot of brothers and sisters I see in the military, black folks who come out here. Yeah, let's leave it back in the chat room. All right. Yeah, we up here. We up here high. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. There we go. This is TJ. Whoops. Let me show y'all TJ. He was taking a nap, but he saw me get up. Hold on 1 second. What's up, TJ? What's happening? What's up, P-Nizzle? We got Peanut with the belly. What's up, dude? What's Tariq saying? Look, we do in a couple of weeks.
A few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
TJ.
All right, let me get back over here. At my son, this is a nice hotel. Show y'all a little tour of the hotel, a little bathroom. You just take a shower? All right, let me get back in my spot. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Let's see who we got on the phone. What's up? Who's calling?
Tariq on this bro from Irvington, New Jersey. Hey, I had a question for you, bro.
Go ahead, fam.
Hey, I wanted to know, like, based on what you guys say, like, anybody could be a suspected racist. Is it wild to look at almost every white person and that aspect, like, he might be suspect, so I gotta, you know what I mean, keep my eyes on him?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that because all white people are not racist at all. I don't think all white people are racist. But the thing is, when you start seeing action or actions, even if a person's being nice, just like the guy I was corresponding with in Samoa, even though this guy was very nice, very cordial, he was saying shit that lets me know that he was a suspected, not even suspected. I think he was a straight up white supremacist based on the shit he was saying. So when you deal with people and you start letting them talk, it doesn't take much for the white supremacists to reveal their true views, especially when you're talking about people of color, people who are melanated. When you start hearing them talk about people of color, their views normally come out. So whenever you have people around you from the dominant society trying to touch on issues about race, listen to what they're saying. Don't listen to their demeanor. Because a lot of times we think just because somebody's not being mean, that they're not a white supremacist. Just like last week when the lady called up, the problem is the cops and the police brutality and the Illuminati. So we got to fight the Illuminati. That's the white supremacist trying to get you to deflect away from white supremacy. You feel me? So
yeah, I understand that because 9 times out of 10, they'll just put out a whole bunch of stuff. It's like you guys said, like to keep people going in 360, so that way you never get straight to the point.
Exactly. So if I'm talking to somebody, and this is how you can test and see where they're coming from. If you deal with somebody in the dominant society, if they're not addressing systematic white supremacy and what to do to alleviate or to tackle that and to replace that with justice, if they're not addressing that, and if they're trying to address everything under the sun but systematic white supremacy, most likely they might be a suspected white supremacist. I would suspect them of being one if they're going to sit up here and not address that. That's going to make me suspect them of being one. That's one of my criteria. Now, there's people have different criteria. Some people may not know about it. And if you articulate it to them, they might say, okay, damn, I didn't know about it. I've had white people come to my lectures and I break the game down and they say, well, you know what? I learned something today. I never looked at racism and white supremacy as being systematic, so I learned something. So, again, I wouldn't call that person a white supremacist because they learned the game. But when you give somebody the answers and you show somebody something and then they still try to deflect from it, then I'm going to suspect that they're trying to maintain that system. So those are just one of the things that helps me to find out if a person is a suspected white supremacist. But just be careful because, again, we can't afford to get tricked over and over like we've been getting, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
one last question. I want to hold you, but do you think that like white people are ignorant to racism? Absolutely. They don't understand what's going on?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's another big misconception too. The ones who are white supremacists, I'll say that. The people who practice white supremacy, they're not ignorant to it whatsoever. That's another trick. Black people got this thing where they say, well, I'm just going to show them how smart I am, and if I point out racism to them, that's going to wake them up and they're going to see me as equal. And that's the trick bag that black people get caught up in. They think if we just keep acting a certain way and just show people how capable we are, they're going to stop practicing white supremacy. And that ain't it. White supremacy is all about keeping you subjugated in a certain position systematically and keeping resources away from you. That's what it all boils down to. So even with your accomplishments, there's so many black people who accomplish so many good things, but the white supremacists will still focus on gangbangers in Chicago, as if that is the embodiment of what being black is. So they choose that narrative, and they choose that narrative because that maintains the status quo of white supremacy. So it ain't about them being ignorant. For example, deep down, the white supremacists do not believe that bullshit about Darren Wilson getting beat up by Mike Brown. They don't believe that. They know good and well that Darren Wilson did not get beat up by Mike Brown. But they went along with the lie to justify Mike Brown getting killed because that maintains white supremacy. You get it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that
I thanks a lot, big bro. I don't want to hold you up.
Much respect, man. Yes, indeed. Excuse me. What are we gonna eat tonight, Peter? No, well, let's go out somewhere. We go out somewhere. Yeah, we go out somewhere. But yeah, but again, it's very important also that we reach out to melanoid people all around the world, man. It's very important that we reach out to the melanoid brothers and sisters all around the world. It's very important, man, because this is a global thing. The stuff the brothers and sisters are going through in Samoa, we're going through the same thing. You dig? Imperialism, the resources being now distributed into the dominant white society. Subjugation, religious subjugation, same thing. So we all need to be reaching out. Go eat at Mai Tais at the Ala Moana Mall. Yeah, we're gonna find some around here. There's a ramen spot that we have, and they have something out here called the acai bowls, those with acai berries. Very good stuff. And they got these cookies. What's that cookie company I like, Peanut? The Hawaiian Cookie Company. Hawaiian Cookie Company, real good stuff. Now over in Samoa. Oh, hold on, my thing is breaking up. Hold on. Hold my